Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yeah, Igor.
Normally don't do these on Friday, but I've kind of had a insane travel schedule lately. So we're doing it on a Friday. Everybody loves Fridays, right? Think so. For those of you that are on, if you have the ability to turn your camera on, would love to see your beautiful faces. If not, completely understand. We have a lot to go over today. Really excited to share some kind of new technology that we have been implementing for some of our clients and some of the results that we're seeing. And as always, we will send out the keynote as well as the recording before the end of the day. Still want you to be able to take notes, though. There's something magical that happens when we go, pen to paper in terms of being able to retain the information. Okay. I just got back yesterday from Dallas, where I was at the Level Up Summit, which is high level. It's a very popular CRM that a lot of digital marketing agencies use. They white label it. And it was really, really great. Really cool to see where AI is going. A lot of the sessions were on AI. And we just set this up for Gracie Pack and set up a chat widget on our website. When somebody messages us on the website, the AI takes over. And it's pretty insane how good the response was. So excited to be able to roll that out for future clients as well, because now you can literally have like a virtual assistant that never goes to sleep, right? It'd be like having an employee that is just always working. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Let me share my screen and we'll get this party started. All righty. So, battle ready marketing. My mission over the next 45 minutes is to kind of help you compartmentalize your marketing, right? When we say marketing, marketing is just this like huge subset of skills that you could acquire. And I think it's helpful when you can kind of categorize the different types of marketing that you should be doing in your school. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about passive marketing, which is more like marketing that you do once and it lives there forever and it can continue to produce for you. We're going to talk about defensive marketing and what you should have in place to really protect your brand, right? Gracie Pack, we've been in our community for 11 years. We built a really, really strong brand, and we want to make sure that we protect that at all costs. So we're going to talk about what you can put in place as like defensive marketing tactics. And then finally, we're going to talk about offensive marketing tactics, which are really just like proactive approaches that are designed to capture new enrollments pretty quickly. Okay. So as always, let's be present. Let's take notes. Let's shut out Facebook. Let's, put down the phone, and please make sure to get into the chat. If you have any questions at all, I'll make sure that we get those answered for you today. All right. Three things we'll be going over. I already said this: passive power, defensive tactics, and offensive strikes. So we're going to start with passive. Okay. So if you're taking notes, write down passive marketing. And when I think of passive marketing, I think of once they're set up, there's kind of minimal ongoing effort, but they continue to generate results over time. Okay. So the first one I want to touch on is in terms of content marketing. And really, content marketing is a way that you are able to connect with your audience that allows you to establish authority in your community. And this drives organic traffic. So when we say organic traffic, that means that you're not necessarily putting your dollars behind it. And one of the pieces of content marketing that has been really powerful lately are reels. And the reason is because Meta, Facebook, and Instagram are competing with TikTok. And if you scroll down Facebook, you're going to see a lot more reels, a lot more content that you had before. And reels are a really great way for you to get a lot of organic traffic. So, I do reels on a daily basis for my, building my personal brand. And I'll get anywhere between 300 and 1,000 views on that one video. And if you do this for your, whether it's on your own personal account or on your business page, Facebook pushes these reels out in front of more people. Okay. So typically these are short form videos, anywhere between 15 and 90 seconds. 90 seconds is your cap for a reel. And some of the examples of things that you can do is just showcasing your classes, doing techniques of the week. We're kind of entering the holiday season here. So many schools are getting new merchandise. So showcasing your new merchandise. I know Mr. Adam Morales, who's one of our GrowPro clients and Maya clients, they build out like a brand new pro shop inside of their school during the holidays to sell more merchandise. Doing any types of trends or challenges, right? That water bottle challenge was really popular, where people were like hook kicking or spin hook kicking or round kicking the bottle top off. And really just, one of the things that I think we become good at as instructors is storytelling. I think there's some power when we can connect a story that we had, whether this is during a mat chat, whether this is during us teaching a technique, to, our martial arts experience, and then just educational content that really, positions you. I think a good example of people that do this well in our industry are people that follow Melody Johnson with her skills. Being able to put out content that showcases you are a childhood development expert can position you as an authority in your community. And these reels are ultimately just going to get you higher visibility than a traditional, like graphic post or image post or text only post. So if you're going to spend time doing content, you might as well spend time doing content that's going to get you the most visibility. And right now that's really reels that's doing that. Okay. The next aspect of content marketing is just your regular posts. And I think for the most part, if you've had a martial arts school for the last few years, you've probably got this dialed in. The one thing I just want to say is Facebook has mentioned time and time again that the point of Facebook is for them to develop communities. And because of this, they've really pulled back the reach that occurs organically from your Facebook business page. And if you feel confident and comfortable with posting from your own personal account about your business, you're just going to get that in front of more people because it's coming from your personal account. When I think of posting from my business page, like, maybe you're doing a trunk or treat, or you're putting out information about one of your classes, it's not going to get a ton of reach. So I wouldn't spend a ton of time perfecting these posts. They're really there to just show that your business is staying relevant. The only way you're going to be able to get it out in front of more people is if you boost it, which now doesn't make this an organic strategy anymore. Okay. One of the things that I notice often when we audit Facebook business pages is that there's not consistency across the brand. One of the really cool things that Canva, if you guys have ever used Canva before, type Canva in the chat. Let me see how many of you have been leveraging Canva. All right, Gage says, love Canva. Okay. One of the things that Canva has is called brand kits. And you can actually create this inside of your Canva account, and you can have a brand kit for your martial arts school. And what that means is when you click on the brand kit inside of Canva, it'll drop your logo. You can preset the fonts that you only want used with your brand. And also you can preset the colors to exactly match your logo. And oftentimes when, we're auditing Facebook business pages, they're always using different fonts, always using different colors. So my recommendation would be checking out Canva Brand Kit, so that regardless if it's you or a program director or an instructor that is creating content, that you have this kind of format that you guys are always going to use, so that there's brand consistency. If you look at some of the major franchises like F45 and Orange Theory, they have brand consistency on all of their posts, okay? The next type of content marketing are blogs. And I know none of us opened up our martial arts schools to become blog writers, but blogs can absolutely help you rank higher on Google. One of the blogs that I put out, so I just Googled, how much do martial arts lessons cost? Okay. And I wrote this blog back in 2019, and it's the very first, it's the very first ranking on Google. Okay. So this is a very common question that somebody that would be interested in putting their child in martial arts, or even themselves in martial arts, they're going to wonder, right? Because they're going to want to compare and contrast. And the fact that our blog shows up at the top, one, gives us authority, two, it provides value, and three, it gets them on our website. So now when they go on Facebook, we can retarget them. So this is an example of, like, why you would want to write a blog. And, I feel very fortunate that this is populating at the top. And while these, creating blogs can take time, now with Chat GPT, they're not going to take nearly as long. And my recommendation would be to utilize Chat GPT to get the blog started, but then edit it and put it in your own, your own tonality and your own brand voice. You kind of have, short blogs, which range between 500 to 700 words, and then long form blogs, which are 2,000 words plus. And you could be doing how-to guides, school news, opinion pieces, program reviews. My personal favorite are frequently asked questions, because if those questions are populating on Google, like how much do martial arts classes cost, you're going to have a better chance ranking higher. Now, when you're writing blogs, you want to make sure that you're leveraging search engine optimization benefits, which basically means you want to have keywords that people would potentially look for a martial arts school in your area inside of the blog. And one of the cool features that Google AdWords has is something called a keyword planner. And Google will actually show you the terms that the most people in your area are searching for. And then what you can do is you can take those search terms and sprinkle them throughout your blog. Okay. I put a reel out today about writing a book. And when you think of the word authority, when you think of experts, they're typically the authors, the writers, and the speakers. And if you look at the root term of authority, what is it? It's author. So if you are pumping out good content, it actually helps with your authority building. All right. And again, pre-Chat GPT, spending time writing a blog, that could take hours. Now, this can take, as quick as 20 minutes. The one thing I do want to say, because we're seeing this happen more and more in our industry, are school owners who were using images that were trademarked and put them on their blogs getting sued. I know a school owner, they reached out to me recently. They wrote this blog like back in 2017, and it was about like presidents who did martial arts. And they just pulled a random image from Mount Rushmore that was, they weren't supposed to be using, and they're getting sued for $1,000 because they had this website on the blog. So you want to make sure that you're, just pulling royalty-free images. There's tons of different websites that you can do that from. If you are going to input images into your blog, which I do recommend, having images in the blog. Okay, so kind of gave you an example with how much do martial arts cost, but any type of FAQ, I think, is a really good place to start with the blogs. Okay. So that's content marketing. Those are the three aspects. You've got reels, you've got the actual posts, and then you have the blogs. We're going to get a little techie here, but I think it's really important for people to understand the power of search engine optimization. I think Facebook ads and Google ads can sometimes steal the scene in terms of where people's attention are going. But your website, to me, if it's not ranking, in the top like 1 to 5, then you need to be focusing on improving these elements. And one of the benefits of utilizing some of the industry standard websites as opposed to hiring, just a random marketing company that isn't, in our industry, is that our websites are built with search engine optimization. So you have on-page SEO, and this just has to do with, the words, the content, the assets that are on the pages of your website. And when Google is assessing the content, right? So somebody types in martial arts near me, okay? Google has all of these little bots that are going to go out. And all of these bots are going to be scraping all of the information on your website. And these bots, in a matter of a split second, are looking at these items. So one is content quality. So just making sure that the content that is on the website, one, is original and it fulfills searcher intent. So if you have a bunch, let's say you did like an online program and you're trying to, you have that on your website, and you have a ton of different pages about your online Zoom training, right? Which was very popular during COVID. That would not technically fulfill a searcher intent if somebody was looking for martial arts near them. So we got to make sure that we have high quality content. We have to make sure that we have keywords. And again, you can use Google's keyword planner. We want to make sure that meta tags, and this is really like on the coding on the back end of the website, so that there's title tags to each page, and each, think of it almost like a chapter in a book, right? Chapters have titles, and then typically they have like small descriptions in a table of contents. Your website should have that as well. Your website's got to have proper headings. So there are headings like H1, H2, H3. It has to do with the sizing that is on the website. And this needs to be structured properly. And then image optimization is huge, right? Especially if you have high quality images, right? You had a professional photographer come in. Oftentimes, if those images aren't optimized and compressed to go onto the website, this is going to hurt your ranking. And, a lot of this might sound like a foreign language, which is why, in my opinion, none of us really should be creating our own websites unless we went to school for that. So all of these things are going to go into the process of Google determining whether or not your website is going to rank on Google's search engine results page. So that's all the stuff on the actual pages on your website. Then there's off-page SEO, and this has to do with external factors that do impact your visibility. So one of those things are backlinks, and that means other websites linking to your website. And if you have these backlinks, it can actually have a significant impact on your ranking. So other websites, that could be like the Chamber of Commerce website. Maybe you did like a guest blog for them, right? And then they link back to your website. Other B2B, elementary schools, if you have partners in education, these are all examples of other websites where you can get backlinks where they're linking from their website to yours that can help you rank higher, okay? Social signals. So anytime somebody like shares your website URL, or if you're posting on social and you put your website and they click off of Facebook to your website, that is a social signal, and Google likes that. Anytime really somebody is mentioning your brand, so they put your company name online, that can help. And then the guest blogging with the backlinks as well. Okay, so I don't think a lot of people know that there are external factors that can help your website rank higher. And then you have the technical stuff. And this is really where, if you're using a company like Market Muscles or 97 Display or Website Dojo, this is what they should be doing for you. And number one is site speed. They've got to make sure that your website is loading very quickly. This is crucial. We live in an instant gratification society. And if it takes more than a couple of seconds for your website to load, people are going to pop off, right? got to make sure the website is optimized for mobile. Most of your prospects are visiting from a mobile phone. XML sitemap, this really just helps search engines understand the structure of your site, how it was built on the back end, making sure that you have a secure site. Okay, so if your website does not have HTTPS, that S on the end, that means it's not secure, and that's not necessarily great for your ranking. And then also just making sure that you have minimal 404 errors. So that means, somebody typing in a URL that no longer exists because maybe you removed it. Okay. And again, this is to me, this is the technical button pushing stuff that this is why I pay somebody else to handle it. But if you are finding that you are not ranking, within that first page of Google, these three things in terms of on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO are playing a factor into that, okay? The last piece of SEO that I want to touch on is my absolute favorite, and that's your local SEO. And this is all about your Google business profile. And your Google business profile, claiming it and optimizing it is probably one of the most underutilized marketing strategies that are occurring in our industry and in a lot of other industries, okay? So when somebody types in martial arts near me, how you've optimized your Google business profile and their location. So if somebody's typing in martial arts near me 20 miles from you, you shouldn't be ranking very high. But if somebody is typing that in within 5 miles of you, you absolutely should be ranking high. And one of the things that we do at GrowPro is we help schools optimize their Google business profile. So this is an example of one of our clients. They started with us August 28th, so a little under 2 months ago. And if you typed in martial arts near me, their school is right about here. If you typed in martial arts near me, anywhere within this is, probably about a 20-mile radius here, they weren't ranking at all on Google. And in under 60 days, because we optimized their Google business profile, because we've been posting on their Google business profile, we've been uploading new images, we've been responding to reviews, they've been trying to get more reviews. They are now ranking a lot higher. And I mean, this is just in 60 days. So imagine in another 60 days, and they are now ranking, top 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 within a couple of mile radius of their school. So this is the power that when somebody searches martial arts near me, if somebody's all the way down here by, let's say, this white center, and remember, their school's over here, then they're still ranking, around 20. And depending on the saturation of your market, there's just, in Tampa, it's very rare somebody's driving 20 miles to get to us. It's just way too far, okay? So this is the power of optimizing your local listing, and there's just not enough emphasis put on this in our industry. And some of the things that you need to consider is just making sure NAP consistency, which stands for name, address, and your phone number, is consistent across all different platforms. Wanting to have local keywords integrated into not just your website, but also the Google business listing and even the posts that you're doing as well. Reviews and ratings are that's going to give you the most bang for your buck in order to improve your ranking on Google. So not just getting those reviews, getting great reviews and responding to them. Okay. And then we already talked about the backlinks from other websites linking if they're local. Like I gave you the example of like an elementary school that maybe you're a partner in education, or the Chamber of Commerce. That's really going to help your rankings. And then citations, there's tons of different citation sites out there where you can list your business on local directories. That will also help improve your ranking on Google, okay? And again, I just think this is probably the most underutilized marketing. It doesn't really cost you any money to do for yourself. It's going to cost you the time and obviously the skill set to know where you should be investing that time. If it's something you want us to do for you, we charge $299 a month. There's no ad spend or anything like that. And this is a really great way to help you improve your ranking, just like we did for the client that we showed earlier. Okay. Next up, we're going to go a little bit more grassroots marketing here. And this is just, you hear the terminology affiliate marketing a lot in digital and online, but like grassroots B2B marketing is a form of affiliate marketing. And because we're living in such a digital world, most companies are only focusing on digital. And I'm here to tell you, print marketing is not dead. And one of our favorite strategies are rack cards. And these are just 4x9 promotional printouts that you put in other businesses. And what we have found is that the mom and pop businesses are the best ones to get these in. You want to try to stay away from like franchises because they typically have to say, we ought to ask corporate. But one of the ways that you can really ensure that these are working is putting a unique QR code, right? My favorite website is just called QR Code Generator. One of the things you got to be careful with QR Code Generator websites is that they're freemium. So what that means is you can get a certain amount of scans for free, but once those scans have been reached, it'll give an error message. So a lot of them, if you want to have an unlimited amount of scans, which I think you would, they have a very, very nominal fee. Okay. What we do is we just basically go into these local businesses and we introduce ourselves. Hey, my name's Cris. I own Gracie Pack right around the corner. We have new student welcome packets that we are looking to fill with local business information. Do you have any marketing materials that we can put in our new student package? And we actually do have a new student packet. We have a folder that's got the new student handbook. We give them like parent night out coupons and things like that, put the schedule in there. And then we also put these local marketing materials. And they're going to say, of course, because they want free marketing. And, we give to get. So once they hand us the marketing materials, we then ask them if they would be willing to showcase our rack cards in their business. Okay. So very, very easy way. The print on this, you can get these printed for very, very low cost, 30 cents, 40 cents. And you just, you got to go boots to the ground and put a little sweat equity in. But this is a form of affiliate marketing when you truly think about it. And it's just one that I don't think is leveraged that much. And it's like, once those cards are in there, you're going to put like 50 or 100 cards. You're not going to have to go back more than likely for, 1, 2, even 3 months to refill them. So these techniques, they continue to work for you even after you've put the work in. Okay. Next up, email marketing automations. Especially with ChatGPT, there's absolutely no reason why you guys should not have robust nurture sequences. So once somebody opts into your website, once somebody opts into a Facebook ad, you need to have a sequence of not only email, but also text messages that are going out, okay? Some different examples of different nurture sequences that I want you to audit to see if you actually have set up are new subscribers. So that's just somebody opting into your website. They should be continuously getting emails and text messages. I want you to make sure you have a minimum of a 21-day nurture sequence set up. So from when they opt in for the next 21 days. And a lot of the websites out there and a lot of the CRM companies have these built in, but you have to turn them on. And you should edit them because they're not going to be in your brand voice. So you're going to want to read through them and just make sure that, all of the information is in line with the values and the brand that you have. Okay. A new student series. So this is another example of email marketing automations where somebody becomes a new student. You mark them as a new student in your CRM and they start getting new student emails and text messages. Okay. Another favorite of mine in terms of email marketing automations are re-engagement. We also call them database reactivation. So people that maybe have come in and booked an appointment, but they never enrolled, people that purchased a trial and they never enrolled, putting them on an automation to try to get them re-engaged, to reactivate them, to get them back in. And some of the, just kind of like simple ones, such as like somebody's birthday or their training anniversary, if they've been with you for a year or 2 years, you can also set that up in your CRM so that they are getting, you know, a nice birthday message when it is their birthday or when it is their anniversary. Okay. And the cool thing about this, and the reason why I put it under passive, is you do the work once, you create those emails once, you read through them once, you turn them on, and then the technology does the work for you. Okay. And then finally, a referral program. Once you get your referral program in place, the only thing you got to make sure is that it's visual. I think a lot of schools claim they have a referral program, but if you ask the students that are at their school, they're not aware of it. And the best referral programs have some form of an incentive structure. Okay. And our favorite way is Maya's system that uses a prize wheel. You can go on Amazon, you can type in prize wheel, you can buy, you know, a small one for around $30 to $40. They have like, you know, professional ones for hundreds. We got like a $40 referral wheel. We have it specifically positioned in a place that's between where we do our mat chat and where the parents sit in the lobby. So it's constantly in front of people. And on that prize wheel, we have cash, money. That's everybody's favorite, Amazon gift cards, and then pro shop credits. So, you know, my mindset with a referral program is simple scales, fancy fails. So I want to make it simple for my students to be able to refer, which we have VIP passes that they can give to their friends. And it's part of our enrollment process where we ask them, how did you find out about us? That's a part of the enrollment system that we have in place. So we know whether or not people were referred. Okay. And again, this takes a little bit of energy to get set up. You got to order the Amazon, you got to order the prize wheel off of Amazon. You got to install it in your school. You should have some form of visual, whether that's in your new student handbook, whether that's in your email marketing automations, whether that is a part of your mat chats, or maybe you have it on some form of marketing post board that is in your school. The best upgrade programs and the best referral programs are visual. It needs to be in front of people all the time. Someone's asking, is there a recording? Had to miss the beginning. And yes, absolutely. We will email the recording along with the slides before the end of day today. So our passive marketing, we've got the content marketing. We talked about reels, talked about posting, talked about blogs, talked about all the different ways you can optimize in order to rank higher on your website. So we talked about on-site optimization, off-site optimization, the technical SEO aspect, and then the local. You've got affiliate marketing, leveraging print marketing with rack cards, email automations that should be set up not just for prospects, but for also your students. And then your referral program, making sure that it's visual, making sure that it's simple, and making sure that people are aware of it. So I'd love to know, out of the passive marketing strategies, because I'm not asking you to try to implement all of them, which one do you feel like you have the most room for improvement in your business right now? You could just go ahead and go into the chat, type in content marketing. You can type in SEO. You can type in affiliate. You can type in email or referral. Let me know. Gage says email automations. Tina says referral. Tamara says email. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So now you guys, you know, next to the email or next to the referral, whatever you, you know, wrote in as where you need to focus, I want you to circle that. I want you to highlight it, put a star. Okay. And if the answer is all, my recommendation would be to start with the local SEO with the Google Business Profile, because it's just one of those things that it doesn't take a lot of time. I've done an entire webinar. We host all of these webinars on our Grow Pro agency website. So every single one, I think I've got like almost 40 of them. This was last year. So this one will go on, or last month, this one will go on there. If you see this Google Business Amplifier, I walk you through on the exact steps in order to help you increase your rankings and optimize your Google Business Profile. So if you know you're thinking like, man, all of these I need to work on, this is the one that I would recommend watching and implementing so that you can have, you know, results like this school here that before, they really focused on optimizing their Google business profile, they weren't ranking at all. And in under 60 days, now they are, and they're at the top of Google within a short, mile radius around their school. Okay. So next up, let's go into some defensive marketing techniques. And I don't think a lot of schools think about this, and it's super important. Okay. This is going to be all about protecting your brand reputation. So the first one is managing reviews. Okay. Every time you get a review on your Google business profile, you're going to get an email. And I know what that feeling is like when you get a review and you want to see it and you're 99% sure that it's a 5-star, but there's this small chance that maybe somebody's upset with you. We have to make sure that when we are responding, regardless if it's positive or it's negative, that number one, we're monitoring this. So as soon as that review comes in, we got to make sure that we are responding to it, within 24 to 48 hours. And that's one of the reasons why Google emails you when this happens. Okay. So you got to monitor it. And I'm going to predominantly talk about Google, but you also have, Facebook recommendations. So social media channels can leave reviews. Yelp, I think, is more popular on the West Coast than it is the East Coast. You got to respond. So regardless if it's positive or negative, do it in a professional manner and make sure it's done in a timely manner. Okay. And one of the things that I love about the kind of reputation management is when you do get those really great reviews, I want you to think about how are you leveraging that? Are you pulling those reviews into your website? Those reviews absolutely should be on your website. Are you screenshotting them and posting them on your social channels? I mean, if you're posting consistently 3 days a week, every single Wednesday, and this just makes your content marketing so easy, every single Wednesday, just share one of your 5-star reviews. If you got 100 reviews, you've got, 2 years worth of Wednesday posts. So you got to make sure that you're, not just letting that review sit there. Make sure you're putting it on your social channels and highlighting it on your website. And then also, if it is a negative review, use that as a feedback loop. Regardless if you agree, if there's a 1% chance that there is some truth into that review, use that to make necessary improvements to your programs at your school. Okay. Now, if it is a spam review, which does happen, you can report the review. Okay. Should we boost those reviews? Yeah, depending on what the graphic looks like. So I would go into Canva and create, an on-brand graphic template. You can absolutely take a couple of bucks and put it behind there. I am more of a fan of video testimonials and boosting those because I just think they're a lot more powerful. But if you do have a really solid review, that is super personal and it showcases where that person started prior to joining and where they're at now, I would absolutely take, anywhere between 10 to 20 bucks and boost it. Great question. Can you give an example on how to do a feedback loop with a negative review? I'm assuming you do so with public response. So in terms of the response, my suggestion is to always provide a form of contact where that person can reach out. So let them know, hey, this is Professor Cris, the owner of Gracie Pack. I understand that, you are upset with our services. I'd love to be able to make this right. Here is my direct contact information. And I would leave the, school email and school phone number so that they can reach out. When I'm talking about feedback loop, though, an example would be, what if somebody leaves you a 1-star review because you haven't been doing a great job on controlling class sizes? And maybe when this person signed up, there were only 20 kids in the class, but now there's 50 kids in the class. I would use that as a feedback loop of maybe we need to assess our schedule. Maybe we need to make some changes. And oftentimes what happens is somebody will hire a digital marketing agency like ours, and their beginner classes start getting absolutely packed when they weren't before. And maybe what you need to do, instead of having a class where you're tying in, white belt, gold belt, green belt, belt ranks, you just have a white belt class. So that's what I mean by using it as a feedback loop, is asking yourself, is there any validity in their complaint? Maybe there is, and then we can assess. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. Next up, competitor analysis. I literally can throw a rock and hit another, not just martial arts school, but another jujitsu school. There's an American top team jujitsu school right down the road. I don't get scared about stuff like that, but I do think doing SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis are smart. We do them on a quarterly basis where we are focusing on what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, where are there opportunities for us to improve, and are there any threats? And the reason why I suggest doing like R&D on your competitors, one of the things I would check out is, what are the offers that they are putting out, and ask yourself, is there a way that we can put out an even more irresistible offer? Because that offer is oftentimes going to determine, besides things like convenience and your Google reviews and what type of rapport you built on the phone, the offer might be the thing that swings one person to your school over theirs. And the other thing that you can do is you can actually see what ads your competitors are running. So Facebook has something called the Facebook ads library, and you can literally look up any business, not just martial arts school, any business. So like I went to if you just Google Facebook ads library, it'll bring you to this. I typed in Gracie Pack. These are the ads that we're running. We're currently testing AI images. So these images were literally created by AI. This wasn't created in Canva. This isn't a picture of an actual boy. Artificial intelligence made this image, and we're split testing to see how they're performing, and they're actually beating out our authentic images of our own students, which is just insane, right? So if you wanted to go see, well, what kind of ads are they running? What kind of offers are they doing? If they are running ads, you can do that in the Facebook ads library. So those are just some examples. Again, I'm not sitting here saying you should be scared or nervous about what your competitors do, but I would analyze what offers and what type of ads they are putting out, okay? The next form of defensive marketing is a PR strategy. And this is one of those things it's kind of like security cameras. Most people don't get security cameras or an alarm system until after somebody breaks in, right? And we had a situation that occurred back in 2017 where there was a very serious injury that occurred on our campus. And it was something that we were not prepared from a PR standpoint to be able to explain if the news channels came in, if the newspaper came in. So my recommendation, especially if you have like after school programs where kids are on your campus for a very long period of time, you're going to summer camps and you're doing field trips, is to have a strategy in place, a pre-planned approach that if there is some form of a crisis that occurs in your school, God forbid, some form of molestation charges are being put on one of your staff members, how would you respond? And I think the absolute best person in our industry that can help you with this is Beth Block. She owns Block Insurance. We get all of our insurance plans through her. But if something crazy happened and you are now dealing with that on an emotional level, having this pre-planned out and how you are going to talk to the news channel if they do reach out can take a little bit of the stress out of it. All right. So just something to consider that I don't think a lot of schools do. And then finally, feedback surveys. So we send out a survey on it's a website called Monkey Survey. It's a freemium tool. So they have certain free features, but they also have premium features. And it's a way to kind of just collect feedback from your students. We ask 3 questions. What do you love about Gracie Pack? What do you not like about Gracie Pack? And then do you have any suggestions for improvement? And when you do these surveys, it can actually help you with customer retention. Now, when you get to read all of the stuff that they love about your school, you're going to feel really great. And then you're going to get to what they don't like. And what I'm asking you to do is to take the emotion out of it and pretend like, you are somebody that sits on the board of a company and you're reading the feedback from your customers. And this is a very powerful way to figure out where are some of the areas that we can, have improvement. And when people provide that feedback and they see that you are hearing them and you're making changes, that's going to turn them into raving fans and brand ambassadors and referral machines. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that you do need to, I'll give an example. When we sent it out, one of the things somebody said that they didn't like was that we didn't have more competition practices. We're not a competition school. We used to be many, many years ago. We would go to every single jiu-jitsu tournament every single weekend, and it's a really great way to burn out your staff and really kind of segregate your student base. So we now commit to going to 4 tournaments a year outside of our intramural. So we do 3 in-house tournaments, and then we go to 4 out-of-house tournaments. So that's 7 tournaments a year. And we got feedback, people saying we should be offering like 2 to 3 competition classes a week. It's such a small sliver of our student base that while we appreciated the feedback, it's not in line with the customer base that we're trying to serve. So that's an example of somebody giving feedback that we're going to ignore, right? Here's an example of somebody giving feedback that we thought was great. They wanted us to be able to offer more pro shop merchandise. So they wanted more options with rash guards and fight shorts, and they wanted spats. And we had multiple people saying it'd be really cool if you had some form of joggers or sweatpants because you have hoodies. When you have people telling you, and it wasn't just one, it was multiple people saying, we wish you had more pro shop items. You had people telling, like literally our students were saying, we want to give you money and we're unable to. So that's an example of feedback that, yeah, we're going to listen to that. And sure enough, we got new designs and we ordered new stuff. Okay. So this is all kind of packaged into defensive marketing tactics. And then finally, quality assurance. Okay. Quality assurance really comes down to auditing. This is you auditing what is happening in your school. When's the last time, if you're not the one doing the program sales, when's the last time you sat in on somebody doing an enrollment? When's the last time you listened to somebody book an appointment? When's the last time you audited what happens on the mat? Okay. So you want to make sure you're doing this on a consistent basis so that you can give proper feedback to your team so that you're continuing to get better, right? It gives them that feedback loop. It's in line with who we are as martial artists. We're always looking for continuous improvement. And you also got to make sure it's documented if it's not up to standards. Okay. And I think that, quality assurance and auditing our people and our processes just doesn't happen very often. Gauge, is there a reason to use Monkey Survey over something like Google Forms? Monkey Survey guarantees anonymity. Google Forms, I think if you don't have like a name in there, you could potentially do that. But like on the landing page, it says like this is anonymous. And I think you won't get as many people if they don't think it's anonymous being truthful or being, as truthful as you'd want them to be. But yeah, you could use Google Forms as, I would just make sure that it's 100% anonymous. Did you say you send out the surveys? Oh no, we send out the surveys once a year. Once a year. Yeah. I care about their opinions, but not that much. All right. So in terms of your defensive marketing, you've got managing your online reviews, seeing what your competitors are doing just so you can do it better, having some form of crisis communication plan in place, doing feedback surveys, or doing audits, whether that's on the mat audits or off the mat audits with your defensive marketing. Out of these 5, which one do you think you have the most room for improvement? Or maybe it's something you've never done like the survey and you're interested in doing that. Type it in the chat. Which one resonated the most with you? Just let me know. And then we're going to move on to our last portion, offensive marketing. Crisis plans, feedback surveys. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate those of you that are engaging survey, but all of them crisis plan. Great. Okay. Last up, offensive marketing. And to be like straight up with this is where you put your money where your mouth is. This is going to cost money, but takes money to make money. So first up, we got paid ads. And when I think of paid ads, I'm thinking of 2 different types of paid ads, SEM and SMA. So SEM is search engine marketing. This is your Google ads. I'm not big on Bing ads, but you could do Bing ads. This is really where your today buyers are. Okay. This is pay per click. So you're going to pay based off of the clicks that you get. And this really just allows you to increase your visibility on Google. So if somebody does Google martial arts near me, you can show up all the way at the tippity top, but you got to put money behind that. These are high quality leads. Anybody that has taken the time to search for martial arts near me, or karate near me, or taekwondo near me, or jiu-jitsu near me, these are your today buyers. And they're typically cost a little bit more than your social media advertising leads, because that's interest-based buyers. You're going to typically get a higher quantity with Facebook and Instagram leads, but a slightly lower quality, because they're just not going to be ready to pull the trigger, which is why it's so important to have those automations in place so that we nurture them closer to enrollment. Okay. But both of these require you to put some money behind it. I do want to, notate where we are right now. We're, with Halloween right around the corner here, we have Thanksgiving and Black Friday in the United States. We have, Christmas and all of the holidays that are coming up. You need to understand that this Q4, because of the holidays, every retail company on the planet is advertising. And if you want to see success with the Black Friday sale, it can't just be ads. You've got to make sure that you are building up beforehand, doing reels, doing posts, having email automations go out, doing teasers for the offer, and pairing that with ads. And your ads have to have some money behind them, because you are competing with every major retailer on the planet, or at least in your community, when you are doing specifically Black Friday ads. Okay. Next type of offensive marketing. This could cost you money. Sometimes you have to, pay a fee to set up a booth, but this is really just going to cost you time and energy. However, setting up community outreach and putting booths, especially with us being in the fall festivals, trunk or treats galore are occurring. We're hosting our own trunk or treat on Sunday. We paired up with the local ice skating rink, and we're doing this big trunk or treat. But the physical setups at events or trade shows in public space places work. But one of the things that I want you to have a mindset shift on is the difference between trying to get leads versus appointments. Okay. I hear people all the time boasting, oh, I got 150 leads. I got 200 leads. I don't need leads. I need appointments booked. And I want you to kind of shift your mindset of what is the ultimate goal when we get to the booth. It's not getting leads, it's booking appointments. Now, doing these booths, you're obviously going to want to choose, places that are within a, decent travel distance to your actual school. I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do an event that was 30 miles away. It is going to help with your branding, and it will help you engage with your community. But the ultimate goal is to book appointments. And you got to have something that attracts people to the booth, whether that's board breaking, whether that's, can you hit Billy the Bully, the little century, target 20 times in 10 seconds. You need some form of a booth attractor. I like booth attractors that have to do with martial arts. Like candy is great, but what does that have to do with martial arts? A prize wheel is great, but what does that have to do with martial arts? So I'm more of a fan of attracting them with the service that we are trying to provide, because you're going to get a better quality prospect coming up to the booth. Okay. Next up, community events. So we talked about community outreach. We have community events, and this is where you're hosting classes, workshops, seminars. Highly recommend that they're themed, whether that, October is Bully Awareness Month, whether that's stranger danger, whether that's building confidence, focus for better grades. You got to theme them, because it's a way to disguise your marketing if you're doing these consistently. Got to make sure they're interactive and high energy, right? I'm predominantly a jiu-jitsu school, but when we host these workshops, we have the kids hit the Wave Masters. Why? Because it's instant gratification. Jiu-jitsu is delayed gratification. And you want to make sure you have some form of an incentive at the end with a call to action. And the one that we do, this is Maya's system. It's $50 for anybody in the family to get started. That includes the initial installment, includes the uniform, and it includes the first month payment, $50. And then they have 11 monthly payments of our option D, which is $169 a month. Okay, so we drastically kind of discount that first month. And when you have a group of 20 people that you're pitching all at one time, you can scoop up double-digit enrollments through this process as well. Okay. Next up, every door direct mail. There are 3 times where I would recommend considering doing every door direct mail. You can go to the United States Postal Office website to do this. You can choose the routes. It'll tell you the demographics, the average age, the average household income. There are also website services, and this is actually a service we're going to be offering to our Grow Pro clients, where we can pinpoint people that are families with children within a certain mile of radius, and we can send them directly to them. Because with the United States Postal Office, you're just picking a route, and that route won't guarantee that there are actual families with children that live inside the house. But the 3 times during the year, going into summer, coming out of summer, going into the new year. So going into the new year is right around the corner, and this is a great opportunity for you to do the every door direct mailer, okay? And then last up, you have your strategic partnerships. And this is where you're creating partnerships with partners in education, with the local elementary schools, or even corporate relationships. So forming alliances with other companies. We have a dance studio that is right next door to us, and both of us have each other's schedules inside of the school, because all of those girls, a lot of them, they have brothers that don't want to dance, and all of the boys inside of our martial arts school, some of them have sisters that maybe they want to dance. They don't want to do jujitsu. So those strategic partnerships are one of the absolute fastest and best ways for you to be on the offense and being able to really target your ideal market. Okay. So those are 5 of what I would consider the best offensive marketing strategies. You got paid ads, community outreach, community events, direct mail, and strategic partnerships. I'd love to know in the chat, out of those 5, which one do you feel like you have the most room for improvement? Let me know, out of those 5, which one? Partnerships. That is the one that I think, for the most energy and time and effort, if you focus on that one, will reap the greatest reward. Awesome. Julie says paid ads. Well, Julie, when you need help, you just let me know. So there you have it, guys. Those are kind of how I categorize in my head the different types of marketing we should be doing. You got the passive, you got the defensive, you got the offensive marketing. And I'd love to be able to offer you guys a free Google audit. If you're interested to see where you rank on Google, where you're ranking on local SEO on Google search engine results page, we will do a heat map ranking, so you can see exactly where in your city you are ranking for the key terms. Martial arts near me. We'll also do a full audit on your Facebook account, so your Facebook business page, as well as your Google business profile. It's completely free. I dropped the link in there if that's something you guys are interested in doing. I've got a couple minutes left, so just wanted to see if anybody has any questions that I can help them with before we wrap up. Mr. Chang, nice to see you on, sir. Your daughter's book launch is looking amazing. So good. Man, she rocked this. I was like, this looks like a professional marketer is doing it. So very, very good. Is there a way to see NAP info? So where I would start is just go to your Google business profile and then go to your website. And you got to make sure those 2 things are exactly the same. Something as simple as like suite, or if you're in suite A or suite B or suite 102, are you spelling out suite? Are you doing STE? Are you doing STE period? And then double check your social media channels. So that's where I would start in terms of making sure your NAP is the same across the board. All right, guys, we'll get the recording. We'll get the keynote out for you. As always, if you have any questions, Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. midgettwister@gmail.com is my email. Happy to connect, hop on a Zoom, help you in any way. I hope that everybody has a fantastic weekend. For those of you doing trunk or treats and Halloween parties, I hope you crush it. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.